How's it going, guys? It's Connor from LMB, and it's been a while since I've put anything out. It's been a while since I even recorded anything. I'm a high school student. I have high school to deal with. I just have lots of stuff on my plate, and I just haven't gotten around to actually recording. Get this video out here, and it's something really cool that many people have already done before, but I just want to give my opinion on what I would think in these situations. And it's a start, bench, cut. You get three players, and you have to decide whether or which one you want to start. You have to decide which one you want to put on the bench, and you have to decide which one you're going to completely cut from your team. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this. I found an Instagram page with all these on there. I'll throw it up on the screen. I'll put it down in the description for anyone who wants to go visit the page for themselves and kind of give their own 2 cents on what they think about this. The first start bench cut is Chris Paul, Derrick Rose, and John Stockton. Now, I love John Stockton. I think he's incredibly underrated. He leads in steals and assists, yet he's never mentioned in the best point guard of all time. He has the highest basketball IQ probably of any basketball player, maybe besides LeBron and Michael Jordan. And you can see that because he doesn't have the frame of a basketball player, really. I mean, he's a little bit taller than the average person, but he just knew what to do on the basketball court. He knew exactly what to do at what time. And so I think I got to start him over MVP Derrick Rose just because John Stockton knew how to move the ball across the court throughout his whole entire career, not just 1 year. He was good at it every single year of his career. And then probably on the bench, I would have to put Derrick Rose just because MVP Derrick Rose was amazing. I mean, there was no other player like Derrick Rose in the whole entire NBA. He was explosive. He could shoot. He could do everything. It's just those injuries completely derailed his career, and I hate that for him. I'm not a Bulls fan. I'm a Celtics fan. So I should be slandering the Bulls because of all the things in the 80s and all that. But no, I love Derrick Rose. I wish he never would have gotten injured. I wish he could have came back with the Cavs or the Timberwolves. And so that would mean I'd have to cut Chris Paul. Now, I love Chris Paul. I think he's doing great stuff with the Rockets. He's very underappreciated. He has the mentality that makes his teammates better. He's not just putting up great numbers. His teammates put up even better numbers with him on the court. So I think that Chris Paul is still a great point guard. I just don't think he's on the level with John Stockton and MVP Derrick Rose on who I would put on the court. I love Chris Paul, but I don't like him more than these guys. I don't think he would do as well as these other guys would be on the court. Paul Millsap, Kristaps Porzingis, and Draymond Green. Now, I love Draymond Green just because he's a small guy who still plays the big man, can lock down anyone from a 6'3" point guard to a 7-foot center. He can shoot, he can drive, defend, he can pass. I mean, he's really one of the most versatile players, probably besides LeBron, in the whole entire NBA. Many people hate him, though, for the whole entire kicking Steven Adams in the nuts thing, but yeah, it was on purpose. We all know it was. But I can't blame him for that. I mean, I still like Draymond Green just because of how he plays ball. Unintended. So I think I would start Draymond Green and then bench Kristaps. Even though I know Kristaps is going to be better later in his career. I know he is. He's a 7'4" shooter. And shot blocker. There's no way he's not going to be better than a 6'7", a little bit chunky defender. I'm sorry, Draymond. I love you, but Kristaps, he's got a little bit more just built in him. And then that would mean I would just completely get rid of Paul Millsap. I liked him in Atlanta. He was a good stretch four. I liked playing with him in 2K. He was a great player to have. But, it's just the competition. Draymond, who's a multiple champion, and Kristaps, who's, I think, has a chance to be a future champion or future Hall of Famer. Paul Millsap, tough company. Next one, we got shooting guards. We got Klay Thompson, DeMar DeRozan, and Jimmy Butler. Klay Thompson is kind of underrated because of who he's with. He's with Kevin Durant and Draymond Green and Steph Curry. You kind of see him as the third or fourth guy there. But if you put him on another team, I guarantee he's still putting up great numbers. He's not getting carried by the rest of his team. He can still defend. He's one of the best two-way players in the league. I'd put him behind Jimmy Butler. But he's one of the best shooters, and he's one of the best defenders, too. So I think I would start Klay Thompson. I would probably start Klay Thompson over Jimmy Butler and DeMar DeRozan. And then on the bench, I would probably put Jimmy Butler. Just because I love Jimmy Butler's heart. I love his athleticism, his mid-range game, his ability to defend. It's just, it's all there. Now, DeMar DeRozan, he's an amazing scorer. He can still hold his own on the defensive end. It's just his inability to shoot sometimes kind of makes me put him under some other shooting guards. He's definitely a top player in the East, but I just can't put him over, Klay Thompson and Jimmy Butler, who I just think are amazing. All right, this is a tough one. Kevin Love, Dennis Rodman, and LJ Grandmama Larry Johnson. I love Larry Johnson. I'm just going to say that. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I got his card in 2K once and I just really loved playing with that card and it just kind of grew on me. Maybe it's because I live near Charlotte and so Charlotte teams, anyone who plays for Charlotte, I've just kind of gotten a little connection with. But I just love the way he plays. And Kevin Love, whenever he was with Minnesota, I thought he could be, a future Hall of Famer. He was doing great things in Minnesota. And Dennis Rodman, he's undeniably one of the best big men in the game ever, just because his ability to rebound and defend. If I'm building a team, I think I would probably put Kevin Love to start off, just because his ability to rebound and score. And Dennis Rodman didn't really have that. He had defense and rebounding, which is kind of the opposite that Kevin Love had. So I'd probably put him there, and I'd probably put Dennis Rodman on the bench, just because if you bring someone like Dennis Rodman off the bench, whoever he's guarding isn't going to score. And so that's a great thing to have off the bench. And same thing in Larry Johnson, I'll have to cut him. I love you, but that shot you hit with the Knicks, it's great stuff, but I don't think you can compete with K Love and Dennis Rodman. Last one, we have Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, and Moses Malone. That one's tough because they kind of played in different eras. Not Dennis Rodman. David Robinson was kind of in the 90s. Patrick Ewing was in the mid 80s. And Moses Malone was in the late 70s to 80s. Each of them dominated the game. Patrick Ewing was an amazing center with the Knicks, and he played for the Magic for a little bit. So that just looks weird. Moses Malone won a few MVPs with the Rockets, went to the 76ers and won a championship in 1983. He's a great player, and the rec specs are just beautiful. I think I would have to start David Robinson just because of the games that he had. He was just an amazing athlete all around. And then probably second, I'd have to put Moses Malone. He was just a great scorer, great rebounder. So that means I would have to cut Pat Ewing. Sorry, all the Knicks fans. He was great. It's just I don't think I can put him over David Robinson, who won championships, and Moses Malone, who won championships. It's just kind of a championship thing there. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly enjoyed doing these. If you want to see more, drop a comment, drop a like. Follow us on Twitter at Late Night Ballers. Follow us on Instagram at Late Night Ballers. That's it for this video. See you guys.